Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the course Engineering Chemistry. Module 1 is Water and its Treatment, Lecture 4. I am Dr. Harika Patnala, Associate Professor, Department of Chemistry, MLR Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. In the previous class, we have discussed about the hardness, types of hardness, temporary and permanent hardness, and how to calculate the temporary and permanent hardness in terms of CaCO3 equivalent. And now we are going to do the estimation of hardness in the laboratory by using volumetric analysis with the help of the EDTA. So we are going to determine the hardness of water within the laboratory for our samples. So estimation of total hardness of water by EDTA method. So what is meant by EDTA? Ethylene diamine tetraesteric acid. Ethylene diamine tetraesteric acid, which is a hexadentate ligand. So it forms a complex with a one metal ion. So one EDTA is forming complex with one metal ion. So what is the necessity? We know that every water is having minimum salts like calcium bicarbonate, magnesium bicarbonate, chloride, sulfates of calcium and magnesium. The water which containing all these salts are not suitable for bathing, cooking, washing. In industrial area, it is not used within the boilers. So, it required to purify the water. Before purification of the water or softening of the water, we have to know the total hardness present in the water. So, in order to know the total hardness present in the water, we are going to take the water sample which contains the salts. Okay, the estimation of hardness is based on the complexometric titrations. Here we are going to use one of the volumetric titration is complexometric titration. With this complexometric titration, we are going to determine the total hardness with the help of EDTA. Hardness of water is determined by the titration with a standard solution of ethylene diamine tetraesteric acid, which is a complexing agent. I told that EDTA is a hexadentate ligand. It can form complex the metal ions like calcium, Ca plus 2 and Mg plus 2 which are present in the water. All the cations or the metal ions which are present in the water is going to form complex with EDTA. Ethylene diamine tetraesteric acid is a reagent that form EDTA metal complexes with many metal ions. Just now I have told you that the calcium will form the EDTA complex with EDTA. This is complex, calcium EDTA complex. Similarly, magnesium with EDTA is nothing but magnesium EDTA complex. This is the complex is formed in alkaline conditions. We are going to use the buffer ammonium hydroxide, ammonium chloride buffer. We are going to use whose pH is greater than 9. So, in basic conditions, in alkaline conditions, so these are the metals we are going to form the complexes with EDTA. It forms stable complexes with alkaline earth metals like calcium and magnesium. So, the EDTA will form the complexes with this calcium and magnesium in the presence of alkaline condition. EDTA can be combined with metal ion in 1:1 ratio to form the chelate structure. So, I told you just now that EDTA is a hexadentate ligand. So, it is having 6 donor sites. The metal which is having empty orbitals which form the complex with EDTA. So, EDTA and metal are taken in the ratio, or the reacting ratio is 1:1. In detail, we are going to discuss about what is the structure of the EDTA. Ethylene diamine tetraesteric acid. Let us take that ethylene. The structure CH2, CH2. It is nothing but ether. Diamine. So, amine groups. Then nitrogen is having trivalent. So, if you check the valency of nitrogen, 1, 2, 3. This is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. Similarly, this side also. The carbon is tetravalent. So, ethylene diamine. So, we have completed ethylene diamine. Tetraesteric acid is nothing but 4 esteric acid groups. So, CH2, COOH at 4 corners. CH2, COOH and CH2 COOH, CH2 COOH. This is the structure of the ethyl diamine tetraesteric acid. This is the ethylene diamine. ETT is water insoluble. This is water insoluble. Because of these carboxylic acid groups. These carboxylic acid groups are water insoluble, therefore ET is water insoluble. Then how we are going to determine the calcium and magnesium present? How to prepare the EDTA solution? So for this reason, we are going to take the disodium salts of EDTA. So EDTA is insoluble in water. Its disodium salts is used as a complexing agent which is soluble in water. So we are going to take the disodium salts of EDTA. Let us see the structure. CH2, CH2. CH2 in the place of H plus ions, we are going to replace with sodium ions. This is water soluble, either sparingly soluble, water soluble disodium salts of EDTA. Actually, EDTA is water insoluble. For this reason, we are going to take the disodium salts of EDTA, which is water soluble. So, we have taken one of the reactant is EDTA. Our sample is water sample. Let us see the reactions between the EDTA and our water sample, the calcium and magnesium ions which are present in our water sample. What is the basic principle? See, every metal ions are going to react with EDTA. In the presence of buffer solutions. Before that, we are going to use indicator. What is the use of indicator? We know that disodium salts of EDTA is colorless. Water sample is colorless. How to find out the endpoint? For this reason, we are going to use the areochrome black tea indicator. We are going to use the areochrome black tea indicator. Let us see them. The total hardness of water is estimated by titrating the water sample against EDTA using areochrome black tea indicator. In the presence of ammonium buffer solution, nothing but ammonium hydroxide, ammonium chloride of the pH 10. Guys, just now I told that water is colorless. Water is colorless. EDTA is colorless. Disodium salts of EDTA, nothing but, which is colorless. How to get the endpoint? For this reason, we require an indicator. The indicator is used as areochrome black tea indicator, and in order to do the reaction between the calcium and EDTA, we need a medium that is nothing but alkaline medium. Not to maintain the alkaline medium, we are going to use the ammonium hydroxide, ammonium chloride of pH 10. So, initially EBT forms a weak EBT calcium magnesium complexes. So, let us take a conical flask. Let us take a conical flask. Take any of your sample you wish, if it is 20 ml or 50 ml. Take the 20 ml of water sample into it. Add areochrome black tea indicator into it. Add areochrome black tea indicator. So, if we add the calcium and magnesium ions, nothing but water and EBT into the conical flask, EBT immediately reacts with calcium and EBT. EBT reacts immediately with calcium and magnesium, which are present in the water. It forms calcium EBT complex and magnesium EBT complex. If water doesn't have any calcium and magnesium ions, the indicator color, which is blue color, the indicator color is blue color, so it remains same. If water consists of any calcium and magnesium ions, so the color is in wine red in color. So, wine red in color. So, if we add calcium with EBT, the EBT color is blue. It gives calcium EBT complex, which is wine red. On addition with EDTA solution, guys, I have taken within the conical flask 20 ml of the water sample, to which I have added 2 to 3 drops of areochrome black tea indicator. Immediately it gives the wine red color. Similarly with magnesium ions also, magnesium with EBT gives magnesium EBT complex which is in winded in color. So now we are going to do the titration with EDTA, ethylene diamine tetraesteric acid. Calcium and magnesium ions are preferably forms a stable complex with EDTA. So that is the calcium with EBT, it forms, the EBT actual color is blue and it forms calcium EBT complex which is wine red. You are going to do the titration with EDTA. This is the calcium EBT complex. You are going to titration with EDTA. The calcium EBT complex is wine red which is unstable complex. This is unstable complex. When you add immediately the EDTA, the EBT separates out and it forms the calcium EDTA complex. And the EBT is separated out. The EBT color is blue. The calcium EBT color is, we know that the calcium EBT color is colorless because the reaction between the calcium and EDTA is colorless. So the EBT separates out. So for the resulting solution, if you add EDTA, so you will get the calcium EDTA complex and EBT. The end point is in blue in color. So on addition of EDTA solution to the calcium and magnesium ions preferably forms a stable complex with EDTA, nothing but calcium EDTA and magnesium EDTA complex with EDTA, leaving the free EBT. Why? Because the calcium EDTA complex is stable complex. So the EBT is separated, which is nothing but steel blue in color. Let us see the experimental procedure. The first one is, let us see the experimental procedure is, the first one is preparation of standard hard water. How to prepare the standard hot water? Guys, EDTA is not a primary standard. It should be standardized. We have to know what is the concentration of EDTA we have taken. Exactly. For this, we require a primary standard which is nothing but calcium carbonate I am going to take, which is dissolve 1 gram of calcium carbonate in minimum amount of diluted HCl. Calcium carbonate is water insoluble. That's why we are dissolving the calcium carbonate in HCl, in diluted HCl, and make up to the 1 liter, nothing but 1000 ml in a standard flask with a distilled water. So now I have prepared 0.01 molar of calcium carbonate. What is the use of this calcium carbonate? Let us see this. 0.01 molar of calcium carbonate, this is called the primary standard. Nothing but standard hot water whose concentration was known. With the help of this, you are going to determine the concentration of the EDTA. With the help of EDTA, you are going to determine the hardness, the total hardness present in the water. So, the first step is between the calcium EDTA and nothing but the primary standard of hard water with EDTA. The second step is EDTA and hardness. Here there are, which involves the further steps, nothing but determination of temporary hardness and total hardness. By boiling the water, we can determine. So the major one is the EDTA is playing the major role. It involving in each and every step. Let us see the first standardization of EDTA with using standard hard water. Pipette out 20 ml of the standard water into the conical flask. Let us take the conical flask, add 20 ml of standard hard water, into which add 2 ml of ammonium chloride and ammonium hydroxide and 4 drops of EBT indicator. The resulting solution is wine red in color. Upon adding EBT, the water turns wine red in color. Later, it was titrated with EDTA. The water color changes to the wine red to steel blue in color, which I have learned just now. So, first we have done the hard water titration. So, the molarity of standard hard water is 0.01 molar. What we are going to find out? We are going to find out the molarity of EDTA. Because of that, we are having a formula called M1V1 by N1 is equal to M2V2 by N2. M1, molarity of standard hot water. What is that? 0.01 molar, what we have taken in the conical flask. And V1, volume of standard hot water. How much ml? 20 ml we have taken. And M2, the molarity of ETA solution. We are going to standardize the ETA. We are going to find out the concentration, which is the question mark. V2, the volume of ETA solution, which is consumed within the burette. The consumed ml is A ml. Let us take that A. What is this N1, small n1? Number of moles of calcium present in the standard hot water. And N2 is nothing but number of moles of EDTA. Nothing but number of moles of EDTA reacted with calcium and magnesium ions. Where N1 is equal to 1 and N2 is equal to 1. That's why finally the formula is M1V1 is equal to M2V2. So, we are having all these values. The missing value is molarity of EDTA. Therefore, M2 is equal to M1V1 by V2. M1V1 by V2. M1V1 by V2. So, 0.01 molar by AML into 20 ml, which we have taken in the conical flask. So, you got the M2 is nothing but molarity of EDTA. Now, we got the molarity of EDTA. Later, we have to know the molarity of total hardness of water. The first step is determination of molarity of EDTA, nothing but standardization of hard water. Estimation of total hardness of water. Now, we are going to determine the molarity of hard water. Now, rinse the conical flask and now pipette out 20 ml of the sample water into the conical flask. To it, add 2 ml of ammonium chloride and ammonium hydroxide buffer solution and add 4 drops of heliochrome black tea indicator. The resulting solution is, actually it is wine red in color. Why it is so? The calcium and magnesium ions which are present in the water sample is going to react with EBT, gives calcium EBT and magnesium EBT complexes which is in wine red in color. If water doesn't have any calcium and magnesium ions, therefore the resulting color is same as the indicator color, which is blue color. Titrate with EDTA solution till the wine red color of the solution changes to blue. So we are going to determine the same endpoint we are going to get. The variation between the first step and the second step is nothing but there we have consumed 20 ml of calcium carbonate solution. Here we have taken the 20 ml of sample water. So molarity of hard water is nothing but M2V2 by N2 is equal to M3V3 by N3. From the previous step, we got the molarity of EDTA from the which is nothing but M2 we got. V2, volume of EDTA solution consumed in this step is let us consider as BML. In the previous step, it is AML with standard hot water. BML was consumed by the sample water. M3 molarity of the standard hot water we have to find out. V3 is the volume of standard hot water we have taken is 20 ml. So we know that N2 and N3 are 1. Nothing but number of moles of EDTA reacted in the reaction is 1 and number of moles of calcium and magnesium taken part in the reaction is 1. So therefore M3 is equal to M2V2 by N3. This is division. And similarly M2 into BML divided by 20 ml. So you got X moles. So total hardness of what is nothing but X moles into 10 to the power of 5. What is the use of 10 to the power of 5? We are converting the molarity into the concentration into ppm, parts per million, which we have learned in the previous section. Units of hardness of water, ppm, mg per liter, degree Clerk and degree French. So total hardness of water in terms of ppm is nothing but the moles which we have calculated into 10 to the power of 5. How 10 to the power of 5 we got is nothing but 100 is nothing but calcium carbonate molecular weight. Actually, it is molarity M3 into 100 into 10 to the power of 6 by 1000. This is the actual formula. M3 nothing but molarity of hard water, 100 is nothing but calcium carbonate molecular weight, 10 to the power of 6 nothing but in terms of 1 liter no parts per million. Million is nothing but 10 to the power of 6. Divided by 1000 is nothing but parts per million or mg per liter. We will get in terms of grams. Grams into milligrams is nothing but divided by 1000. So totally we are going to calculate this. You will get 1000. So molarity into m3 into 100 into 1000, nothing but 10 to the power of 5. We got this is the total hardness which is present in the water. In the next step, we are going to calculate the temporary and permanent hardness. In order to get the permanent hardness, we are going to boil the water. Estimation of permanent hardness. Boil 100 ml of the water, same water sample in the beaker till it reduces to 20 ml, or boil the water, remove the hardness causing salts, filter it, boil and remove the temporary hardness. So by boiling we can remove the temporary hardness, not only simply the boiling and filter it. All the temporary hardness causing salts are removed now. Take the 20 ml of the boiled water after filtration and cool and filter. Wash the precipitate with distilled water. Already we have done. Pipette out 20 ml of the water sample. Which water sample? The boiled one, which is cooled and filtered. That filtered water sample we have taken the 20 ml, which is free from temporary hardness, into the conical flask, and add 2 ml of the buffer solution and 4 drops of EBT indicator. Same procedure. 2 ml of the buffer and 4 drops of EBT. So whatever the rest of the hardness, permanent hardness is nothing but calcium chloride and magnesium chloride, calcium sulfate and magnesium sulfate, nitrates of calcium and magnesium. If they are present, they will form a complex with EBT, unstable complex. Later it is titrated with EDTA. So till the wine red color changes to steel blue color. How to determine the permanent hardness? You have done the titration. Note on the volume of the EDTA is consumed. So M2 is nothing but molarity of EDTA, which the same molarity which we have done in the first titration, you are going to get that M2 value, same M2 value. V2 is nothing but volume of EDTA solution is consumed in this step by titrating with boiled water. Let us take that CML. M4 is the molarity of standard hot water, and V4 is nothing but volume of standard hot water taken is 20 ml. So M4 is equal to M2V2 by V4. We have seen why here is 2's and why it is 4's. The sample is going to be changed. Whatever solution we have taken in the conical flask is going to change, but the solution which you have taken in the burette is common. So that's why this 2 is common, M2 molarity of EDTA. M2V2 divided by V4, nothing but M2 into CML, which is consumed, divided by 20 ml. You got the Y moles. This is the Y moles of standard hot water reacted with EDTA. So in order to determine the permanent hardness of water, that is the Y moles which we have got previously, which is calculated to 10 to the power of 5 in order to get in terms of ppm. So Y moles into 100 into 1000 is nothing but Y ppm. So we got permanent hardness and total hardness. In order to determine the temporary hardness is nothing but total minus permanent. So total hardness which we got from the second step and permanent hardness from the third step, you are going to get the temporary hardness dash ppm. In this way, whatever the water samples, whatever that, we can determine the calcium and magnesium ions which are present and nothing but total hardness present in the water with the help of EDTA. By varying concentrations of EDTA, you can do these titrations and you can determine the total hardness present in the water. What overall we have discussed in this class? In this class, we have discussed about the how to determine the is nothing but estimation of hardness of water. For that, we required water sample, EDTA, nothing but disodium salts of EDTA, aerochrome black tea indicator, and the buffer solutions. In the first step, we have prepared that primary standard calcium carbonate of 0.01 molar, and we have prepared EDTA, and buffer we have prepared. So within the step 1 procedure, we have titrated with standard hard water with EDTA. In the step 2, we have done the titration between EDTA and sample water. In step 3, we have done the reaction between EDTA and boiled sample water. So finally we got total hardness. From these two steps you will get total hardness. From this step 3, you will get both permanent and temporary hardness. Permanent and temporary hardness. In the next class, we are going to discuss about the numericals on estimation of total hardness of water. Thank you.